Hi, welcome to week 10 in ASR. Be careful when you're downloading the lecture slides because Peter originally numbered this as lecture 9, which is true, but this is week 10, so don't get things confused. I've just relabeled things on UTS Online for you this week. So what you should have seen with Peter last week is an introduction to foreign currency, and I see Peter talk through the two major issues. Foreign currency transactions and foreign currency translations. Now, with foreign currency transactions, the issue is actually reasonably straightforward. You've got some items that are expressed in foreign currency, or whose value is in foreign currency, but you need to record that in your Australian financial statements. So what are you trying to do? When does it matter? What you're trying to do is translate foreign currency items into Australian dollars. When does it matter? Things only need to be translated if they are monetary. This means if the value of the item depends on the value of the currency. So if you've got some American currency in Los Angeles in a bank account, then obviously as the exchange rate changes, the Australian equivalent of that does change. And so exchange rate movements expose us to risk on monetary items. If we've got non-monetary items, the issue is a little bit more straightforward. If I have some inventory that I've purchased for American dollars in Los Angeles, then as far as I'm concerned, if I'm recording inventory at cost, the dollar equivalent, the Australian dollar equivalent of the purchase price at the date of purchase is the only thing that matters. After I've made the purchase, historical cost doesn't change. So there's no risk associated with currency movements if the value of the item isn't expressed in currency units. It doesn't depend on the value of the currency. Inventory, property, plant and equipment, that stuff, its value doesn't change, or its historical cost, or what it's recorded at, its carrying amount doesn't change if the currency moves. But if an item is monetary, like a payable, receivable, a loan, some actual foreign currency sitting in a bank account, if it's something like that, exchange rates affect its value. And that's what Peter would have taken you through, how we measure that at the current exchange rate and where we pick up the gains and losses to. The second topic that Peter would have covered is foreign currency translation. Now, this is a totally different issue. This is where you have not just a bank account or an asset in a foreign currency, you've got an entire business entity in a foreign currency. What it basically means is that its risks and benefits, its costs, are faced in that foreign currency. So translating individual parts of that entity doesn't really make sense. If I've got a company in North America, translating its cash and its payables at the current exchange rate, but inventory at its historical exchange rate doesn't really make much sense. If you've got a business, a company in North America, the risk that you face is the risk on the entire value of the company. So all assets and liabilities change their value in Australian dollars as the exchange rate moves. Why? In practice, you're not going to sell individual parts of that business. If you ever come to selling it, you will sell the entire business. Now, Peter walks you through that and tells you about the implications for that. Okay, just a few admin questions at this stage, a few admin issues. If you have got your first essay back with a mark, but there is no mark for it on UTS Online, please scan a copy of your essay and send it to me, or alternatively contact me as soon as possible. I think we've got most marks sorted out, but there are one or two people that seem to be having problems with their marks. Okay, so please let me know directly. The other thing, the mid-semester exam results will be up early this week. You've got your exams back in tutorials, so that's not an issue, knowing the marks. Remember that I am available to review your mid-sem with you on Thursdays. People have been making appointments. Most of my appointment slots are now booked up, but I still have a few available. If you still want to see me, if I don't have enough time, I will make some additional time for that. Okay, hopefully Peter's treating you well, even though he's A, into rugby, and B, a New Zealander. What can I say? The job market's tight. It's hard to get good people. Um, okay, I hope you enjoy this week. Any questions, have a chat to Peter, have a chat to Dave or me, or just raise them on UTS Online if there's substantive issues relating to the material covered. Have fun!